And also one of the things I've just been curious about that I noticed in your material, which doesn't seem to be obvious, but sometimes we do practice it, sometimes we don't, is demonstrating empathy. Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. Empathy is huge when it comes to what we are going through. And this empathy is really about knowing that you're not the only person who's going through this. Obviously,
wow.
It's not just you, it's your neighbor. It's not just your neighbor, it's also your boss. It's not just your boss, it's also the government. So rather than pointing fingers, which is easy to do when you feel fearful, when we talk about empathy, we're really talking about being able to put yourself in the shoes of the other person and thinking about that person first, if at all, rather than just about myself and my ego. So it's the ability to sort of relate to what the other person might be going through. And more than just sympathy, which is the ability to understand, is see it from other people's perspective. Actually, that's one of the key things. It's about seeing this thing from the perspective of a government that's trying to calm a nation down, from a boss who's trying to still keep the team going, from a partner who is also stuck in the house with you, from the kids who are cooped up in the home. And this development of empathy is, I would say here are some 3 key questions that you should ask yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, understanding the needs of other people first. Okay. Understanding the needs of other people. Asking, why would somebody either behave or react that particular way? So literally, if you put yourself and seeing it from their perspective, why are they acting or reacting this way? Maybe there's a good reason why they're doing this. And then showing sort of an understanding, because it's one thing to know why they're acting that way, but to understand this is the reason why they feel this way or why they think this way about this given situation.
Wow, that's powerful.
And then particularly, I like to talk about empathy from the viewpoint of leadership. So when you incorporate empathy into your leadership sort of style, it's knowing that the people who work for you or the team, your team members will understand if you make a mistake because you're empathetic as opposed to temperamental. And it also helps you sort of develop a closer relationship with people that you work with. And when you have that closer relationship and people are able to sort of, I guess it allows team members to work together more powerfully.
Yeah. And even what I'm getting from it, this is even a game changer right here, because even as a parent, instead of just saying, why is my kid acting out, or why did my kid do this? If you just put yourself, remember how kids are, you are a kid also. You can remember that kids don't fully understand, they don't have full control over their body and their emotions. And, sometimes they're hiding. You can start asking, why are they hiding? Are they being bullied? Is there someone that's being a threat to them? And even you can use the same technique for your partner, whether it's, male or female. Why would she be angry? Why would he be angry? Why would he not talk to me? Why would she not talk to me? And even this has now made me humble to realize, even with the government, they're just trying to do the best with what they have in the given situation. It could be easy for me to point out failures in healthcare and hospitals and all that, but now is not the time to be doing that. Now is the time to be asking, what could I do maybe to help support the situation? The obvious failings are there, but it's not me to, how can I help? I think that's what now this empathy is helping me see clearly, so that I can participate in supporting.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who talking about partners, who look at this situation in 2 ways. One, your relationship is going to fracture. You guys are stuck in the house for the next God knows how long. Yes. And, you're going to end up killing each other. But actually, this is an opportunity for you to practice this particular skill of empathy. It can actually tighten the bond with your partner, particularly being in close quarters. Because what is more difficult than understanding why that person who you're in close quarters with is behaving the way that they do, or they do this same thing over and over again that is driving you nuts?
Yes.
So look at it that way, all right? And you also talked about being an empathetic parent. In fact, there's a style of parenting called empathetic parenting.
Mm.
And again, this is at the heart of emotional intelligence. We talk about this at Janus a lot, about helping a child feel heard, understood, listen to them. Apologize for that. There was, I heard this very powerful, I was actually listening to a webinar the other day, and the person was talking about developing focus. And they were talking about how they actually started focusing on focus as a sort of area of expertise through one simple thing. They were sitting down with their child, and I think their child was trying to explain something very important to them that had happened at school. And this man happened to be distracted. So he picked up his phone and he looked at his phone, and his child is trying to explain this sort of very important thing that happened to them during their day at school. And the child walked off. And when he, stopped looking at his phone and looked up, the child had walked off, and he realized he had missed a moment of connecting with his young child. And that's when he started now focusing on this thing. In fact, he calls it indistraction. He made up this word. And that was a beginning, because that small opportunity of listening to your child, facing them, sitting them down, looking them in the eye, listening with all of your senses, that is the beginning of empathy as a parent. And particularly children are very attuned to that. They know immediately when you're distracted, you're not listening to them, and you're wandered off because you something on your phone or something else that's caught your attention.
Oh yes, definitely.